All right, so this looks like it's probably going to be the last video of the year. This is getting ready for our quest. It's not a test and it's not a quiz. It's somewhere in between. It's a quest. So we are just starting a review. You should have finished this already before you're watching this video. I want to make sure that, I want to make sure that you guys have the examples of how to do it if there's one or two that you didn't get. Okay, so start off with number one. I'm going to go through this as fast as I possibly can. What is the area of a triangle? Well, area of a triangle is area equals base times height divided by 2. So that is 5.9 times 3.2, and we divide all that by 2. And grab a calculator so it's fast. Times 3.2 equals divided by 2, and we get 9.44. So the area is 9.44 meters squared, or B. Okay, next one. Number 2, the diameter of a circle is 14 meters. What is the circumference? Okay, so if we use our circumference formula for a circle, that's C equals D times pi, or if we knew the radius, it would be C equals 2 pi r. Either one will work depending on what information we have. We happen to have the diameter, so we're going to use D times pi, and so that is 14 times pi, and we'll see what they used. It looks like they approximated pi at 3.14. Oh, they did right there. So we can say 14 times 3.14. Okay, and so we've got 43.96 meters. That's our circumference. Okay, the length of each side of a square is 58 inches. What is the length of each side of a square is 58 inches. What is the perimeter? Well, if we're talking about perimeter, it's the length around it, and there's 4 sides, so we have 4 times 58 inches. And so 4 times 58 is 232. Okay. All right. Coming up next, number 4, the dimensions of a rectangle are 6 by 8 meters. How does the area of the rectangle change if the dimensions of the rectangle are doubled? The area is doubled, the area is multiplied by 4, the area is multiplied by 8, the area is multiplied by 16. I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest with you. So what we can do is find the area of our 6 by 8, which is 48. 6 times 8 is 48. And then if we double, does it say double? How does the area of a rectangle change if the dimensions of the rectangle are doubled? So now we're talking about a 12 by 16. And I don't know what 12 by 16 is off the top of my head. And so we got 192. And so what we can do is take 192, and if we're talking about doubling, we're talking about multiplying, but we want to know what the relationship is here. So we can undo multiplication by dividing. So 192 divided by 48, and that is 4. The area is multiplied by 4, which makes sense because if we're multiplying 6 times 2 here, and we have 8 times 2, then the 2 times 2 that's extra in here is 2 times 2 is 4, so it's being multiplied by 4. All right, so our next one, what is the area of the trapezoid? Area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times base 1, or 14, plus base 2, which is 9, times the height of 10. So we have 23. So 14 plus 9 is 23. 1/2 of 23 times 10. Okay. It's going to be 115. 115 feet squared. So A. All right. I'm at 4 minutes in. I've done 5 problems. I got to speed it up here. What is the area of a circle? What is the area of the circle? Use 3.14 for pi. So the area of a circle is pi times r squared. And so this problem is trying to trick you. They're trying to get you to put 16 in for r. But 16, you see that line going all the way across, is the diameter. So d equals 16, but 16 centimeters. But what we need is to find the radius, which is half of the diameter. So that is 8 centimeters. So 8 is what we should actually be using. So now we have pi times 8 squared. And so it's saying use 3.14 for pi. So 3.14 times 8, or 8 squared, and we get 200.96 centimeters square. Okay. All right, next one. A rectangle is 7.5 meters wide and 15 meters long. What is the area of the rectangle? Well, this one's pretty straightforward. It's we're talking about area of a rectangle, and we are just going to multiply those two. So we have 15 times 7.5, and we have 112.5 meters squared. Okay. All right, next up. What is the area of the figure below, or what is the area of the figure? Okay, so this one's a little more challenging. Like, you got to think ahead a little bit more. So what I see is two separate objects. Okay, if we put a line right there, we can now figure out what each of the area of these individual objects are, and then we can combine them together to get the actual object itself. So we have 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, and then we have 8 times, well, what is this height? So think back to that lesson where we were trying to find missing heights and we had all the information. We just had to do a little subtraction. Well, we know the whole thing is 12, right? And we know that this section is 9, so 12 minus 9 is 3. So we have 3 times 8, which is 24, and 24 plus 18, so we got 12, and then we got 42. And so we have 42 inches squared, which is G. Okay. All right, number 9. Almost done with this side. A map shows an area of 25 miles by 25 miles. How many square miles are shown in the map? So that would be 25 squared, or 25 times 25, which I believe 625 miles, square miles. Okay. All right, a parallelogram has a height of 9 yards and a base of 6 yards. So we're talking about a parallelogram. And we have our height of 6 yards and a height of 9 yards. So it's taller than it is wide. So a height of 9 yards and a base of 6 yards. So that is 6 times 9, which is 54 yards squared. Okay. All right. Flip it over. Oh man, look at this. Oh, we got to find a riddle. Well, I'm just going to make sure you have the answers. I'm not going to do your riddle. I'm going to let you discover that on your own once you find the answers. What a wonderful, wonderful thing for you. Okay, so we have, first one, it says to find the answers to the riddle, find the area of each figure use 3.14 for pi. Then find the answer at the bottom of the page and write the letter in the blank. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so first one, we're trying to find the area. They're trying to give you more information than you need, and they're trying to trick you and say, if I have all 4 sides, do I want to do the perimeter? No, you want to do the area. The area is only going to multiply 2 sides, so we're going to do 32 times 32, which is 1,024. Man, they're really nice on this page. They even give you your units in there. So we have 1,024. Okay, next one, we have 12 times 6, and it's a triangle, so we need to divide that by 2, and we get 36. Okay, 36 meters squared, 12 times 6, and then divide that by 2. You could also do 12 divided by 2, which is 6, and then that 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, so next one, we've got 9.3 times 8.2. 9.3 times 8.2 to find our area, and we get 76.26. Okay, next one, we want the area of the trapezoid. So this is the one where you've got to find the average of the 2 bases first, and so that's half of base 1 plus base 2 times the height. And so that is 21 divided by 2 times 6, and that is 63. Okay, and then we have the area of a rectangle, which is pretty straightforward. So 9 times 14, and we get 126. Okay. Next one, we want the area. Again, they're trying to trick you on this one. You need the radius, which is 6. So the area of a circle is pi r squared, and our radius is 6, so pi times 6 squared. And then it said to, remember it said up here to use 3.14 for pi, so we're going to say 3.14 times 6, or 6 squared, and we get 113.04. Okay. All right, next up, we've got this one, they're trying to throw some crazy things at you here. Okay, so 9 times 5 is 45. That's this section right here. Okay, and then the triangle over here, how tall is that triangle? Well, the height of it is going to be 9 plus 5, which is 14. So we know our overall height is 14 meters. Okay, and the base of our triangle is going to be 16 minus 9, which is 7. So we have 14 times 7, and we divide that by 2, and we get 49. Okay, so we have 49 plus 45 is 94 meters squared. All right, up next, another area of a circle. This time they're giving you the radius, so we don't have to do anything with that. So again, compare these two right here. This is the diameter. To find the area, you've got to use the radius. So we had to divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius. This one, it's giving us the radius, so we don't need to do anything to change it. We just need to plug and chug. And that is 8 squared. So pi times 8 squared, and they told us to use 3.14 times 8 times 8, and we get 200.96. Okay. And then last but not least, one of these little problems that you've got to kind of think through and subtract and make sure you're not making any mistakes with missing parts. Okay, so we're going to cut this, and there's no real wrong way to kind of do these problems. You can do them other ways too, but I just do them the way that I see them. Okay, so I see this as the whole length here, which is 5 plus 14 plus 8. So 5 plus 14 is 19, plus 8 is 27. So this whole length is 27. Okay, and we know that this length is 17 and this is 36. So we can do 36 minus 17, and we get 19. Okay, and so now we can figure out what this part is, which is 19 times 27. And so this part is 513. And then we have 17 times 5 for this little part. So 17 times 5. And so this is 85. And that makes sense. Like, this is a little skinny guy right here, and this is a big one, and this one should be a lot more, so we're on the right track. And then we know that this is 17 and this is 8, so we can say 17 times 8, and that is 136, which also makes sense because this is larger than this, but nowhere near as large as this space, so we can see that our numbers are kind of making sense here. So 136 plus 85 plus 513, which is 734. Okay, there you go. There are your answers. So that's your work in class today. You see it took me 15 minutes to do this, so I'm guessing it should take you about half an hour to do front and back, and then another 15 for review. So make sure you're using your formula sheets as you're working through this. This is your last chance to study for this and get your grade up. It is the end of the semester, so study hard, and you got this.